Assalamu alaikum, and welcome back once again to Today in African History with Baba Shaka. I'm Baba Shaka, and today is July 29th, 2021, and 111 years ago today, another act of murder and theft took place. The Slocum Massacre occurred on July 29th, this date, in 1910 in Slocum, Texas, an unincorporated community in southeast Anderson County. The city used to be home to a thriving African community with several businesses and farms owned by black residents. Leading up to the massacre, a lynching of an African man in nearby Cherokee County sparked racial tensions in the Slocum area. White rumors circulated that African residents had been meeting in Slocum to plan an armed rebellion. Racial tensions only intensified when a white man reportedly sought to collect a disputed debt from a well-respected African farmer named Abe Wilson, and when a road construction foreman put an African in charge of organizing aid for road improvements. A confrontation erupted, enraging Jim Spurger, a local white farmer who became the primary agitator of the conflict that led to the massacre. Many newspapers and eyewitness accounts reported that Spurger instigated the events by claiming that blacks had threatened him, an out lie. Now, driven by Spurger and other white vigilantes, an angry mob of heavily armed white men from all over Anderson County roamed throughout Slocum in groups. According to some reports, 200 men laid siege to the city. They fired guns on black residents at will. Africans fled as word spread from survivors of the carnage. White mobs trailed fleeing blacks into the surrounding forests and marshes and shot them in the back. Every initial newspaper portrayed Africans as quote-unquote armed agitators, which were gross mischaracterization. Newspapers reported that the estimated death toll of African residents were between 8 and 22 victims. But the African community members provided a contrast to this report by stating that there were a minimum of 40 who had died and that it may have reached upwards of 200 victims. The Anderson County Sheriff William H. Black stated at the time that it was challenging to obtain the death toll because black bodies had been scattered all over the woods. Many African residents fled the town during and after the massacre, leaving behind real estate properties and other assets just to save their lives. White residents later seized their properties. Now, for instance, Jack Holly, a formerly enslaved man, lost his dairy, his granary, his general store, and 700 acres of land to white residents after he and his family fled the city. Almost all of Slocum residents were subpoenaed to testify, and white men who refused were arrested. Spurger and at least 15 other white men were arrested for the attacks. In addition, Spurger and 6 of the men were indicted on 22 counts of murder. However, they were never tried. The indictments received little attention when Judge Benjamin Howard Gardner moved the trial to Harris County, where the charges were eventually dropped. None of the attackers were ever prosecuted. Today, the city of Slocum reflects the relic of its history. While most nearby towns have black populations of more than 20%, Slocum is just below 7%. But due to the efforts led by Constance Holly Jawed, a descendant of the victims, a historical marker was dedicated to commemorate the event back in 2016. The stolen land and property were never returned. Another case for reparations. Okay, once again, a big thank you to our sponsor, Ga.J Fashions LLC, who did this shirt for me today. Mrs. Juliana Gabeto Soleil is, I'm sure, busy creating some great looking apparel as I speak. Now, I'll list her content info down in the description. Now, if you live in the DMV, that is the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area, give Miss Julia a call and stop by to experience her fantastic creation for both men and women. Now, if you live outside of the DMV or outside of the U.S. for that matter, give Miss Julia a call anyway. I'm confident that some arrangement to ship to you can be made. Right? Check it. Thank you to all of our subscribers who continue to support our efforts here at Today in African History. For those of you who have not yet subscribed to this channel, please hit that subscribe button just below there and lend us your much needed support in bringing you these daily lessons. Please like and leave a comment down in the comment section below. But most importantly, please share, especially with the young amongst us, because as you and I both know, this material is not taught in our schools. So, until tomorrow, inshallah, this is Baba Shaka with Today in African History. Masalam.